Hello everybody, it's Numerologist Michelle Buchanan here with your numerology forecast for 2024, the whole year as a whole, based on your personal year number. So it's your personal year number that you're going to be in for the entire year, and it's giving an overall picture, some overall guidance as to what this whole year as it unfolds month by month, what it's all about for you. So let's take a look, 2024. So what I'm going to get you to do is I'm going to get you to calculate your personal year number. And what we're going to do is we're going to add the month and day of your birth date to 2024. Now 2024 itself adds up to 8. So that makes the equation a little bit easier. Therefore, you would only need to calculate the day and month of your birth date to number 8. All right, and then when you've done that, you're gonna break it down to a single number between 1 and 9. So let me give you an example. We're going to add the day and month of your birth date to number 8. I'll use the example 28th of March. 2 plus 8 plus 3 plus 8. 2 and 8 is 10. 10 and 3 is 13. 13 and 8 is 21. All right, so 2 plus 1 is a 3. So therefore, the birth date, the 28th of March, is in a 3 personal year. So one more time, add the day and month of your birth date to number 8. Keep adding any double numbers together until you eventually get a single number between 1 and 9. All right, and that single number between 1 and 9 is your personal year number for the whole year. Now, here's a little tip. Whatever personal year number you were in 2023, last year, well, you're going to be one number up. So if you were in a 7-year last year, you're going to be in an 8-year this year. If you were and then, of course, if you were in a 9-year last year, it just rotates right back round to starting at 1 again. So they range in numerical consecutive order between 1 and 9, and then we get all the way back at 1 again. So for those that were in a 9-year last year, you're in a 1-year this year. If you were in a 4-year last year, you're in a 5-year this year. So there is also going to be a link. So if you're listening to this through YouTube, there'll be a link in the description that will lead you to my page, my Facebook page, that shows you that equation or that calculation method, how to calculate your personal year number on my website written down. Because some people, it doesn't matter how many times I explain it verbally, they're lost. They need to see it written down. So if you're one of those people, check out the link. If you're listening to this recording through my newsletter, there will be a link in the newsletter information on how you can calculate your personal year number. So let's get started with the forecasts, okay? So I just want to do a little introduction on 2024 itself. So this is the universal year number or the world year number. Different numerologists call it different things, but it means the same thing. It's the number for the planet itself, for the world itself, and it influences every one of us on the planet or in the world, but it's not as accurate and as obvious and dominant in our forecast as our personal year number is. So the key is to blend the universal year number with your personal year number and then your personal month number, but that's a lot of information, so only someone that knows what they're doing would be able to do that accurately, but that's okay, that's what I'm here for. So it's going to be a little bit of a rough guideline as to what 2024 is about. So let's first of all dive into what 2023 was about. So those who've been listening to me throughout 2023 will know that I kept going on and on and on about 2023 being the year of truth. And it's so funny because depends where you get your information from and how far down the rabbit hole you are and how in touch you are with what's really going on in the world that you won't necessarily hear anything about from the mainstream media. But there was a lot of truth that came out last year, especially right at the end of the year, especially in New Zealand, with a certain someone working for the health department revealing important information that has since been released to the rest of the world. We had whistleblowers or people in, Department of Defense in the USA releasing information that's very beneficial that people have been unaware of. And a lot of truth on so many levels being revealed all around the world last year. It really was phenomenal. And definitely didn't leave any stone unturned in terms of how much truth was being, brought to the surface. But the 7 year was a year of bringing that, some truth to the surface. A lot of people waking up to all sorts of things, spirituality, their personal development, a greater level of self-awareness, waking up to the truth of, what's going on in politics or health system, all sorts of things were going on. And it's really good because a lot of people did wake up and are on the right path and are coming along really well, leaps and bounds all around the world. And so 2023 did a really good job. It served its purpose. So now we're moving into 2024, which is saying, well, great, now you've got a bit more information. You may preferably have raised your vibration and strengthened your connection to your own inner self, your own inner knowing, your own inner strength and power, your spiritual side, working on your personal development, having more of an understanding of the fact that you're a spiritual being, having a human experience, how powerful you are as a manifester, and the truth of what's going on in the world and what you're capable of on so many different levels. Hopefully that's what that 7 year of 2023 would have triggered in you. And then we take that growth and that opportunity and we now apply it to 2024, which is an 8 universal year. So we get all of the growth and the knowledge and the wisdom from the 7 year, and then we apply that growth, wisdom, knowledge, and experience from the 7 year, and we use it to manifest and create the reality we want, to be more self-empowered instead of disempowered, fearful, afraid, victimized. And we step into that 8 energy, which is about amplifying and catapulting our personal power into a higher frequency, because the higher our frequency, the higher our own individual life force energy, energetic vibration of all that we are, that is an accumulation of everything we think and feel and how we perceive ourselves, how we perceive the world, having a higher level of conscious awareness, choosing to live in gratitude and a positive frequency. The higher our own individual vibration as a whole, the more successful we are in attracting, manifesting, and creating the circumstances that we want, the life that we want, the opportunities that we want, the experiences that we want. And this is the key. And now we are in a beautiful 8 energy that is going to give us the ability to really make magic happen. That's my saying. That's my saying that I've coined, that I've created, that I've made up for the 8 year this year. Make magic happen. And that's because we've always been able to make magic happen, but we really didn't know how, or we really only dabbed our toes in the water a little bit, never really jumped fully in, immersed ourselves in the lake of amazingness, opportunity of creation. Because in some ways, many of us have been forced by having no choice at all into taking the bull by the horns and being more proactive in our creativity and our manifestation because of challenging circumstances. Challenging circumstances have forced us, many of us, to say, well, I'm banging my head against a brick wall trying to force things to happen in the physical. I've got no option but to take myself up into the energetic realms, up into where all the magic happens that I know, and I've got a kind of a concept about. Many of us have heard of the law of attraction, or many of us know about positive thinking, or that you attract what you think about. But so many of us really haven't even scratched the surface or really taken advantage of the fact that we live in a creative world, that everything is magnetic, and that we are really powerful creative beings. And that's one element or one part of our life experience, our life purpose, is not only to learn, grow, and evolve from the life experiences we have while we're here and work through life lessons or whatever it is. Everyone believes different things and all that. But one reason we're here is to discover ourselves as creative beings. And now we're in an 8 year, the year of manifestation, the year of reclaiming personal power and overriding any lower tendencies to feel disempowered, helpless, hopeless, powerlessness. Nah, we're going to let all that shit go. We're not going there. Not on my watch. We're going up. We're going into the higher realms. We're going where the magic happens. How do you do that? By monitoring your thoughts, by being responsible and disciplined, and choosing to believe in something better, choosing to catch yourself out when you are dwelling on what's wrong, moaning, complaining, being afraid. And that's a normal human way of thinking and being. We all do that, and to some level. But we have to put our big pants on now, our grown-up pants on, and go, well, that's really not serving me, because I attract what I think about, because I attract what I believe. I really don't want to start attracting any more shit that I don't want to have to deal with. I want to be where the magic is. And it's a decision. It's a conscious decision to step up to the plate and take that manifestation process seriously now. And that's what the 8 is about. So if you happen to be in your numerology chart an 8 life path, or an 8 destiny, or an 8 soul's urge, for example, which are the top numbers in a chart of our profile from our birth certificate name and date of birth, if you want to know what yours are and you want a chart of your numbers, just let me know. I always do a special deal on those forecast charts and the numerology charts, $12.50 instead of $25. I'll put that somewhere in the information. But if I don't and I forget, which could happen, I'm blonde, remember, I'm getting older. Please hit me up if you want some information about that if I happen to forget. But if you are an 8 life path, or you've got an 8 in a dominant position in your own personal numerology chart, then this is a really powerful year for you. It's a powerful year for all of us, but especially if you already are an 8. Even more so if you are in an 8 personal year and you're in an 8 universal year. Imagine the people that are an 8 life path in an 8 personal year and an 8 universal year. Whoa! So on one hand, you can really make amazing things happen because the manifestation process is amplified. But on the flip side of it, because it is a double-edged sword, is that you have to be extra careful, extra diligent, extra disciplined about not allowing yourself to focus your attention on what you don't want, or dwelling on what's wrong, or complaining about everything that's bad, or worrying about things, or having, being really afraid of these bad things that might happen, because you have your ability to attract those things is amplified also. So that's what I mean. There is a huge incentive for all of us, regardless of our own personal numbers and our own numerology chart. There is an incentive for all of us to get our shit together and really, really dive into understanding the manifestation law of attraction process. So as I always say, and I know I sound like a broken record, but the information is repetitive and it never changes, and it's a fact. So I have to keep saying it. But if you are looking for a couple of books that you can get that will explain the manifestation process in a way that's different from your typical, then I always recommend Sandra Ann Taylor's book. It's a Hay House book. It's called Quantum Success. And also a book by a lady called Penny Pierce. Penny, P-E-N-N-E-Y, I think, P-I-E-R-C-E, Pierce. And it's called Frequency. Now, you need to understand there is another book out there called Frequency, but you want the Penny Pierce one. That's going to teach you all about your vibration and the manifestation process. In fact, I might dig it out myself again and give it another read. Because it really is so good to have a refresher, just to get yourself all fired up, all ready to take that year by the horns and make it the best it can possibly be. So you want to get your finances in order in a 2024 8 year. You want to get your finances in order. You don't want to overspend, but you want to have an attitude of abundance. Don't hold on to the losses. Have the mindset of money comes, money goes. I always end up on top. Things always balance out in the end. It's a great time to focus on your career and making sure you're doing what you enjoy. And if you don't, because it's not always possible for many of us to, many people out there have jobs that don't make them happy, and they have no choice. So what you need to learn to do is to make peace with that job. Find things about it that you do enjoy. Find out, tap into what some of the benefits are. I'll give you one. I'm so lucky I have a job. I may not like it. It may drive me crazy, but I have a job. I'll tell you right now, it's not cool not having a job when you want a job. It's not cool when you haven't got money coming in. Isn't it better to have some money coming in and learn how to make peace with that job and be grateful for it rather than battling against it and, manifesting more unhappiness in that job? Just find something to be grateful in. The fact that you even have money coming in is a blessing. It really is a blessing. So let's go now and start going through the forecast for each of you guys in your personal year number, starting with personal year number 1. So personal year number 1, you guys are in a year of a whole new beginning, a whole new, fresh, clean slate. So we're all in new year, so we've all got a new clean slate. But the thing is, the 1 year, that's a whole brand new 9-year cycle now. So that's pretty important. And that 1 year is going to give you the ability to create a whole new mindset, a new way of looking at things. Number 1 represents newness, something new, all right? A new fresh outlook, a new positive mindset. New opportunities will present themselves to you if you believe they will. You need to believe to make things happen. It's like make magic happen in an 8 year, but magic's not going to just land on your lap. You need to believe in the magic to call it in, to work with it. You need to believe in it. And so believe that there are new opportunities coming for you. Throughout this year, it is a time for you to do anything new that you have been wanting to do, or that as the year progresses, that gives you a new inspiration or new ideas for doing something new. Some people, it will be very obvious the 1 year. It might be a whole new location, a whole new job, a new friendship, a new hobby, a new project. Whereas other people, things may be kind of pretty much the same and only some minor new beginnings, like a new mindset or a new health regime, for example. But everyone's life is different and everyone's circumstances are different. But for the most part, this 1 year for you is about having this focus on what do I want to create in my life, and knowing that the opportunities are coming. So whether it's an existing situation or business or relationship, but you want a new fresh outlook towards it, or you want some new life breathed into it. You want to revitalize things. Or other people, it's only something completely separate, completely new, or something existing that you want to revitalize. Get clear about what it is you want and put your order in and start giving that your attention and your thoughts and your emotions, and you're visualizing it and affirmations around it and believing that it's possible and putting energy into that. So forge a new path for yourself and take the bull by the horns. Be in the driver's seat of your life. All right? Be proactive, get out there, do the work, make things happen. And as you listen to each of the month-by-month forecasts throughout this year, you're going to get some more insight from me as to another layer of knowledge and wisdom about each month and how it relates to the 1 year that you're in. So keep on top of the forecasts that are coming through each month to add another layer to what you need to know about this year. But it's pretty self-explanatory. Whole new beginning. Go out there, take the world by storm, be proactive, make things happen, and be positive. All right? I'll leave that with you. Personal year number 2. So you guys are in a year where, it's an interesting year, the 2 year. I was in a 2 year all of 2023, and I learned some really important things from it. The first thing you need to know is you need to learn how to manage and balance your energy levels. So what the 2 year will do is, if you're working too hard, for example, it may force you to slow down a bit. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you are on top of your self-care, that you don't force anything in your life to happen. It's not an energy for forcing your will or trying to make something happen. It is an energy that is receptive. So the 1 year is proactive, it's masculine energy, so it's action orientated, so it's take action, whereas the 2 is the opposite. The 2 is feminine energy, and the 2 energy is receptive. It's about receiving. It's about sitting still and letting things happen for you, not trying to smash out your goals and make things work the way you want them to. It's about, let go and let God kind of energy. So the first thing you know is you need to be patient and you need to trust in the universe's timing of things instead of forcing your own desires and your own timing of how you want things to go. You've got to learn to be adaptable and patient and trust that the universe knows what it's doing. What the 2-year will also do is it will encourage you to be more understanding and more cooperative and understanding of other people. It may send you some frustrating situations that would normally drive you crazy and might drive you crazy, but you're learning tolerance. You're learning cooperation. You're learning understanding and being able to see things from other people's point of views and soften your judgment. Soften your judgment of others. Soften your judgment around your evaluation of a situation, and soften your judgment towards yourself. So it's about softening and becoming more open-hearted and more understanding and kind. All right? The 2 will also, it represents the emotions. So the 2 may increase your sensitivity. So in a 2-year, you might feel a bit more sensitive than you normally would. You might tend to overreact or, be easily hurt compared to usually. Some people end up feeling a lot more emotional in a 2-year and think that this is the new them and they're never going to go back to their old self, and that's not true. I like to say to people, don't worry, you're just in a 2-year or a 2-month because it's a bit more sensitive than normal. So be aware of that and be kind to yourself, and just extra effort required to stay positive, to see the glass half full, okay? But on the upside, to be more sensitive means you're more intuitive. All right, and to trust your clairsentience, to trust your inner knowing. It's going to give you an opportunity to really be able to read yourself more clearer, or to read other people more clearer, because you are more sensitive. However, the filter with which we read from, whether we're reading another person, we're reading information, we're evaluating, the filter that determines the accuracy of what you're reading or the conclusions you're coming to are based on your own programs in your mind, which is why it's not a good idea to ever get a reading or a healing or some sort of session with someone that's quite negative or has big issues that they haven't mastered yet, because, the accuracy of the guidance they're receiving and their intuitiveness, or they're receiving information from wherever it comes from, the accuracy of that information filters, goes through their own personal filter. So what's their personal filter in the person that they are? So that's a nice little tip. But in terms of, so the more personal growth we do, the more we know ourselves, the more self-confident we are, the more positive we are as a person, then the more accurate the guidance filtering through our filter system and our perceptions of how we see everything is going to be a lot more accurate, and not bogged down by our own triggers and our own judgments of things, okay? And so also what the 2-year will do is it may encourage you to want to be more bonded and more closer to others. So whether it's being closer to in an existing relationship with someone, or whether it's being someone who's single, is finding that they really want to meet someone, whether it's I just want to be closer to a community, I want to find my tribe, or I want to be closer to my friends or my neighbors, or whatever it might be. The 2 can sometimes encourage us to want to bond in a more deeper, more meaningful way. And of course, the 2-year does say, if there are relationship issues brewing beneath the surface, they will rise to be addressed. So be honest, speak your truth, don't run away from issues that need to be sorted out, fix them and be honest about it and send it love and light, and work on whatever needs work to make things better. Okay, I'll leave that with you, and I'll move on to personal year number 3 now. So you guys are in a year where the most important thing to know about the 3-year is it's designed to encourage you to learn, to make an effort into finding your joy and finding the happiness in life and seeing the glass half full rather than half empty. We have a choice. We're presented with a life. We're presented with a situation. We're presented with a circumstance. We can perceive it, even a challenge, from a higher perspective or a lower perspective. One is going to make us feel much more emotionally better and more comfortable about the situation, the other won't. Let me give you an example. I'll use a challenge. Let's say you lose your job. You lose your job, you haven't got money coming in. right? That can be, oh my God, I've lost my job. What's wrong with me? I can't believe I lost my job. Nobody wants me. There's nothing out there for me. I'm going to be broke. I'm going to have nothing. It's going to be awful. Everything's going to be so hard. This is a nightmare. How will I ever find another job? What have I done wrong? Why is life punishing me? This is really, really bad. Or you can perceive the exact same situation. I've lost my job. Okay, well, that's not ideal and that's not cool. And I'm not going to lie and say I feel happy about it. If you don't, some people will, and they're fine. But this is for people that are challenged. And you might go, but the different way of looking at it from a higher vibration is, I've lost my job. It's not fun. I'm a bit scared, but I choose to believe that that's an opportunity that the universe has sent me, creating an open doorway for me to find a better job, a job that I enjoy more. I know that there are jobs out there in the world. I know they exist, and I know I just have to believe in it for me to energetically, magnetically be lined up for a job that is perfect for me. I believe that I lost my job so that I would be pushed towards a better job that is better for me. And it's the same with relationships, Oh, that relationship ended. What's wrong with me? Why don't they love me? It's like, because you're better suited somewhere else, or because it's not actually for your greater good. The contract is over. There are many reasons. But the fact is, you can look at a challenge and you can see it through the glass half full and an optimistic, positive mindset. Don't forget, we're in this 8 universal year where we are manifesting and attracting whatever we believe. So extra effort is required this year to believe that things are getting good, are better, to see the positive in things. That's what number 3 is designed to do more than anything else, is to help you find the joy, to help you be positive. Now, if you're negative, the 3 will also amplify whatever our emotions are. So if we're feeling negative, it's going to amplify that. If we're feeling positive, it's going to amplify that. So that's why it's really important that we become self-disciplined. We're living at a time where we really have to step up to the plate. We're in the big leagues now. We have to take control and responsibility of the thoughts and the beliefs that we have if we want to make our life better, especially when the things are so much more challenging out there on some levels. You know what I mean? Whether it's financially, politically, health-wise, whatever it is, we really can't afford to drop the ball. We've got to stay on top of things. And this year is going to give us an opportunity in a 3-year to be able to find the magic, to be positive. As much effort is required, we have to put that effort in. Now, it's also a year where there can be a lot going on, a busy, busy energy. So you want to pay extra attention to, don't have your finger in too many pies, don't take on too many projects. Be disciplined, focused, organized. Write things down if you tend to forget things. Finish what you start. We can easily be distracted in a 3-year. So be organized and write things down and stay on top of it. Be committed, responsible. The 3-year may make things more social for some people. It depends on our own individual numerology profile as to how a year or a month will influence our life. There's a lot more information that I don't have giving you this forecast. That's based on your own personal chart. But some people will find that this year is more social for them, that they're being pushed into situations where they're around people more. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean groups of people. It can mean individual people, or making you sort of a bit more connecting with other humans or other person or persons a bit more, interacting a bit more this year than normal. It's a great year for you if you have any creative or artistic hobbies or pursuits that you want to take up or just continue doing. It's a very creative, self-expressive energy, and it's encouraging you to do more of that simply because if you enjoy it, that enjoyment is so good for the soul and it will raise your vibration and put you in a really good place. So we want more of that good stuff, whether it's music, whether it's pottery, whether it's gardening, cooking, jewelry making. It really doesn't matter. Any form of creative expression, writing, singing, doesn't matter. So it's a great year for all of that. And it's also a good year for you to know that you're being encouraged this year to speak your truth, to be honest about what you think and what you feel and deliver that information in a diplomatic way. Speak your truth. Do not pretend or say something that you're not, about being emotionally honest and having the courage to speak your truth and release what needs to come out. So I'll leave that with you and I'll move on now to personal year number 4. You guys are in a year where head down, bum up. All right? This is a year of doing the work, doing whatever needs to be done to get yourself and or your life, or both, where you want it to be. So if you want to improve your business, you're going to have to get off your butt and do the work that needs to be done. Take action. If you want to improve your home, you're going to have to get off your butt and start tidying up a bit, doing what needs to be done, getting the gardens done, working on renovations if it's possible. If you want to improve your health, you're going to have to get off your butt and start changing your lifestyle. Maybe getting a better quality food that you're eating, better diet, better exercise regime. Like this year is saying it's giving us an opportunity to create a solid foundation that will stand the test of time. But we have to work for it. And that's what this year is all about. Now, it is a year that may require extra effort. And what that sometimes can mean is you might put in twice as much energy to achieve a goal that you would any other time, but it requires twice as much effort this year because it's slow and steady wins the race, the 4 energy. And it's very much about learning to not force things and learning to be patient. And perseverance is huge, to not give up at the first sign of challenge, to overcome, to discover what you're made of, to embrace fortitude, consistency, persistence, determination, self-discipline, concentration, dedication, all of that kind of stuff. By the end of this year, if you do that, this year will be very fruitful for you, and you can look back on the 4 year and go, wow, I really did some good work. I really got some stuff done, and I'm really proud of myself. Don't waste this opportunity to set things up for yourself. So like I said, don't force things to happen. Be patient, be tolerant, be organized, structured. And also know that if you do try and force things to happen beyond their time and you don't trust the universe's timing, you're bulldozing everything down, trying to control everything, then there are lessons in that in the 4 year, because you're supposed to learn to put the energy in and then release it, let it go, and get on with your life and trust. But if you keep trying to bulldoze everything down to get your own way, there may be lessons in that aren't very pleasant. So take my advice and let go and let God. Don't force things to happen. Just be in that nice vibration of doing what needs to be done and trusting that it'll all work out. And if it doesn't work out, it's fine. It's because it wasn't meant to. Something else will appear. Be soft, fluid about it all, and not like overly controlling and desperate. So I will leave that with you, and I'll move on now to personal year number 5. You guys are in a year of change. So the 5 year is smack bang in the middle of a 9 year block of time. So the personal year numbers range from 1 to 9. It's a 9 year cycle of time. The 5 year is smack bang in the middle. So the 1 year is new beginnings, the 9 year is endings, and the 5 year is right in the middle. So it's the year of change. It's the year of let's change the playing field. Let's shake things up. Now, some people throughout the 5 year, this will be very obvious. There might be a change in their life or a series of changes that create new circumstances within that 5 year period, and it's obvious. For example, a change of job or a change of residence or a change of life circumstances based on family situations or whatever. And it's, for some people, it's really obvious. And then there'll be other people where it's not so obvious. It might be some smaller changes. It might be, I've retired from tennis after all these past 40 years, and this is the year that I'm going to hang up my racket. It might be sort of minor changes and less obvious things, whereas if I was to ask you, hey, you were in a 5 year last year, what changes did you experience? You go, oh God, I can't even think off the top of my head. And it might be smaller things like that. It might be, the specialist that you normally go to for your physiotherapy has left and moved out of town, and now you've got a new therapist. It can be anything. It can be, I used to do aerobics, now I do swimming. I mean, everyone's life and everyone's circumstances are different. But one thing's for certain, whatever needs to be changed, or if you need to progress in a certain either relationship or a situation or a mindset, or if your higher self and your soul is craving progress from you and you aren't shifting, then circumstances may force themselves upon you to force that change. All right, so that's one thing I can say is if there are changes that you know need to be made to either your circumstances or the way that you live your life or the way that you view a situation, or you should be forgiving something and you're not, or you're not shifting in some area or some areas, series of things, then the universe will force that shift upon you if you're ready for it, but you're just not doing it. So don't procrastinate, don't avoid things, don't sweep things under the carpet, don't run away. Face things head on and be in the driver's seat of that change so that you are in charge and it goes in your timing as opposed to you being on the back foot and having to sort of pivot, because that is a key word for the 5-year, pivot, which means shifting, changing. You know, the 5 energy is quite changeable and it can be quite busy with a lot of things going on. And so our job is to be adaptable, flexible, go with the flow, whatever direction things may be. Make sure that you adapt quickly to it, that you don't hold on too tightly to what was, that you are now physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually adapting and accepting and embracing whatever changes may come. This is a year to have some adventure, some excitement. So if there's anything you can do, whether it's go on a vacation or whether it's you don't have the ability to do that, you don't have the time or the money to go on an actual vacation, shake things up in your everyday life. Reach out to someone you've never met before and connect, or try a new hobby, or catch up with people you haven't seen in many years, or eat some different types of foods, or just do something different to shake things up, to give your life that injection of excitement and adventure. Okay, because the 5 craves excitement and adventure and change. So, and also a great energy for promoting yourself. If you've got something to say, you want to let the world know who you are and where you are, do it. Great time to promote yourself. So I'll leave that with you and I'll move on now to personal year number 6. You guys are in a year where there may be, so the first thing to know about the 6th year is there is a strong focus on the home, the domestic side of life, home, relationships, family, animals, pets, gardens, community, all of that sort of thing. So if you work in a service and being of service to others, so if you work in a service-based career, there is great opportunity in a 6th year to expand your service to the community, providing, remember, things don't come to us. We've got to meet the universe halfway and call it in and shift our vibration alongside it to make it happen. If you need to believe that you have a service that the community wants and that the community will want, and that it's all positive and good and that it will come to you and get out there and take action on it as well. It won't just come and find you without you doing anything or without shifting your mindset. So it's a two, this work, spit it out, Michelle. This works both ways, all right? So there's 2 people and there's 2 partners involved here. One is you, the other is the universe, all right? So if you're working in a service-based career, be positive about your service. If you're not positive about it, find out why you're not positive about it and then become positive about it, whether that's because you require more training, whether it's because you need to expand your mindset about your belief in what exists out there in the community. Some people will go, there's no spiritual people. I've got a spiritual business. There's no spiritual people in my town. It's like, do you know everyone in the town? You don't know everyone in the universe. You might get people that are from out of town. You might do stuff online. You don't know everybody that exists. It's like people that go, oh, there's no one out there for me. Have you met every partner? Have you met every person, every male and female in your town, in your city? Have you met everyone? No. It's a matter of changing your perception and being more positive. Now, the 6th year will also provide opportunities for us to be that shoulder to cry on for people, especially family or friends or work colleagues or clients, people that we interact with. The 6th year often usually brings opportunity for us where others may need more from us, whether it's pet. I've got clients and myself included in a 6th period of time where I had to be a caregiver for a pet, for a friend, things like that, and family, children, grandchildren, all that sort of stuff. And also it's a year where you really want to make sure that you take your own self-care seriously. Make sure that you are making sure you have time for yourself, filling your glass half full, full up to the top. You're more able to give more to others when your own cup is full. And it's about monitoring yourself and making sure that you stay in harmony and in balance, and you don't let yourself sway too far one way and not be able to bounce back. So monitor your own self-care. Self-love is really important this year, as is being loving to all people, the community, neighbours, friends, family, work colleagues, everything, all right? So be open to that, and I'll leave that with you, and I'll move on now to personal year number 7. You guys are in a year which is just like last year's universal year. This is a year where it is about going within. It's going within to strengthen or build upon, strengthen or develop for those that have never done this before, develop for the first time, or strengthen for those that are already doing this, your connection to source energy. Whatever it is you believe spiritually, whether you believe in guides, angels, God, Jesus, Saint Germain, the Pleiadians, all of the above, Buddha, it really doesn't matter. Whatever you believe the higher power is, or just your own higher self, your own direct connection to all that is, the label doesn't matter, but the fact that you believe that there's something there that you connect with is what matters. That you put more energy and time and attention into that connection, because it's the wind beneath your wings. It's what you are a part of. You are source energy, and that's your mothership, that's your home, that's everywhere all around you. And the stronger relationship you have with that, not only the stronger you will feel from within, and the more confident and the more positive you will feel about living a life here as a human being, you will feel so much more like you fit in, like you belong, like all is well in the world, the stronger the relationship is to your home source. But also, it will increase your intuition. It will help improve your health, all these kinds of things. But it's like going to the gym. It's like, or developing muscles or a muscle. You get out what you put in. So the more energy and time and attention that you put into this relationship, the stronger it's going to be. And the 7 year is trying to encourage you to put some time aside, away from the hustle and bustle and the drama and all of the goals of the ego, human mind, and the physical world, to get into the heart center, to get into what matters, to get closer to nature, to realize your spiritual truth, to know yourself, mind, body, spirit. That's what this year is encouraging us to do. And, there'll be a lot of opportunity for you to develop and improve yourself in terms of your personal development, self-improvement, all of that, to reach a higher level of understanding and awareness. It's a great year for those that are already spiritually minded, for studying, learning, and teaching. Okay, for anything, even participating in classes, mind, body, spirit, yoga, meditation, breath work, mindfulness, astrology, numerology, all of those things that fit into that arena. Take it more seriously this year. You will find that you need more time alone this year than any other year. The 7 year does encourage us to have quiet time alone, to connect with the answers and the wisdom of our inner knowing and our inner voice, as well as quiet time alone for contemplation and asking the big questions. Who am I? Why am I here? What's the meaning of life? And I'll leave that with you, and I hope you have a great year. And I'll move on now to personal year number 8. You guys are in the same year as the universal year number 8, and it is an 8. 8 is the number of manifestation, law of attraction, karma. If you believe in karma, I used to, but I don't really anymore. I feel we've moved away from that paradigm in the 3D world, and that the higher frequency really, karma doesn't even play a role in the higher dimensions. So, but each to their own, whatever it is. But number 8 governs the fact that it's undeniable that we attract what we believe. And this is a year for you to really put your money where your mouth is, to take this really seriously. It's your personal year number and it's your universal year number. So how can you learn more about the law of attraction? Well, you can go onto YouTube and you can type in Abraham Hicks. You will find thousands of videos of classes and lessons and presentations through Abraham and Esther Hicks, and some old ones with Jerry as well before Jerry passed. There are people that focus on the financial side of growing money and abundance from a financial aspect of law of attraction, and that's where you get your Bob Proctors, you get your Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. You get people, and then you get the scientific side of the manifestation process and really taking it down to the intricate details and getting really involved. And that's where you'd be looking at your Dr. Joe Dispenza and your Bruce Lipton for the scientific proof of the process, but also your Dr. Joe Dispenza gets right into the intricate details of the manifestation process and takes it very seriously. So you can maybe watch some videos of him on YouTube, grab a couple of books, do an online class, whatever it is, however you feel drawn to. But as you've already heard me say in the introduction, and every time I talk about an 8, that the law of attraction, the book by Sandra Ann Taylor, Quantum Success and Frequency by Penny Pierce are 2 really good books that everybody should have, as well as any of the Abraham Hicks books, whether it's the law of attraction, whether it's ask and it be given, whether it's the vortex. These are all materials that really can help you help yourself, and I suggest you do it if you feel that way inclined. This 8 year may bring about career, influence. It may bring career stuff and job and money to the forefront. So on one level, some people may have job changes or a new job, or it's not always. Some people it's losing things. So some people can change jobs, lose jobs. It's a number that focuses on money and abundance, but some people may have a loss or a series of losses, and it's okay, because if you believe the universe, whatever goes, comes back, to have that mindset of what comes, money goes, I always end up on top, or I lose an opportunity, that's okay, a new one will come. It's all about perception and being in an empowered state of mind, where you see the glass half full, when you don't buy into the victim mentality and the powerlessness of things. That's what this year will teach you. It's really teaching you how to manage your personal power through your thoughts and perceptions. So manage your finances. Don't be stupid and ridiculous and overspend unless you believe in your overspending that more will come, then that's fine. But for those that aren't at that space yet, then don't cause unnecessary drama and stress and worry about finances by spending unnecessarily. But for those that are really in that optimistic, abundant mindset and have done the work and have a strong foundation, then that's fine. You know and believe that something will always come. You'll always be able to attract what you need. It will always come at the right time. I'll leave that with you, and I'll move on now to personal year number 9. And you guys are in a year where it is the last year in a series of 9 years, in a cycle of 9. It's the last year. So it's really where you move from the chrysalis into the butterfly, where when you look back at the end of 2024, you will look back, preferably, if you do the work, and you will look back and you'll go, wow, look how far I've come. I have come so far. This year will give you opportunity to catapult yourself. It is also known as a year as the payoff year, where things you've been chipping away and working on for so long can finally come to fruition. But this doesn't happen on its own. You have to meet the universe halfway, and you have to believe that that's what's going on. If you don't believe it, it won't happen. You attract what you believe. So you believe that this is a payoff year. Everything I've been working so hard towards is going to pay off. Opportunities are coming to me. But part of that 9 year is a letting go. It's a year of releasing. It's a year of out with the old to make way for the new and endings. So if there's limiting beliefs that you've been holding on to that are lowering your vibration and preventing you from manifesting what you want, then you need to deal with it. You need to release it. You need to grow out of it. It's time to grow up in this year. Also, you may find that some contracts can come to an end in a 9 year, whether it's partnerships, friendships, jobs, whatever, releasing what you've grown out of, what's not going to carry you forward for the next 9 year cycle that begins next year. And so the 9 year is taking a look and going, what have I grown out of? Whether it's, forgiving a situation that you've been in your life, or a person, it's about growing up and just letting it go and releasing it instead of carrying that big story around with you. It's just lowering your vibration. It's preventing you from attracting more happiness and abundance in your life. It's time to grow up and just let it go. Or look at it from a higher perspective. It is what it is. It was what it was. Let go. I'm sick of carrying this down around on my shoulders. It's weighing me down. I just want to release it. The 9 year is the year of release. So be open, forgiving, understanding, positive, optimistic, and ready to move forward. We're out with the old to make way for the new. Where one door closes, it's so one other door can open. Don't be afraid to make changes. Don't be afraid to let things go out of the fear of what if there's nothing after this. Don't do that. Don't not make moves you know you need to make because you're afraid of what's at the other side of it. You have to be courageous. You have to believe in something bigger and better. It really is possible in this 8 universal year, alongside your 9 personal year, that you really can attract magic in your life. So believe in the magic to make it happen. And I wish you the very best. Take care and have an amazing year. Love and blessings, Michelle.